The James Show Podcast.
My next guest, Tony Ortiz from Current Revolt. I'm sure he knows all about this, but those of us who pay super close attention to politics in the state of Texas have had a nice little giggle because some lady, I'm not even sure where this lady came from, accused one of the Democrat Senate primary candidates of making a racially charged term about another one of the former candidates. So this is Talarico, who's a white guy, supposedly saying calling Allred, who's, I guess, a half-black guy. He's a mediocre black fella. And hang on. Let me just get the rumor mill out there first. Oh, here, play.
James Talarico told me that he signed up to run against a mediocre black man, not a formidable and intelligent black woman. And I want to explain why this is problematic.
Anytime someone uses the term problematic, I'm starting to just gloss over there. Tony Ortiz, you heard the response from Colin Allred. I'll play it later. I meant to get to it before we got to you, but I had a lot of great callers. This isn't really consequential. I don't think it's going to affect the outcome of the race, but I'll be damned if it's not fun to watch these people backbiting and playing the race card against each other. Isn't that great?
It is funny. I think the Democrats have realized, especially with the SD9 race, that the only way they can actually win races is by running a straight white man. And this is the effect of that, right? Colin Allred, as you said, is a half black man, which is interesting. You never see the half black men identifying as white. They always just take the black side. I guess it's just maybe.
Well, he's like ethnically ambiguous. If he didn't tell you what he was, you wouldn't be able to tell. He's kind of like The Rock. Like, what is The Rock? I don't even know. Like Samoan or something. I don't know.
Something, right?
Yeah.
What is Samoan? But yeah, I don't think it's going to affect Talarico. And the bigger signal here, and being very serious, is that the Democrats see Talarico as actually having a chance, right? For the Senate seat. They don't want it. They don't want to give it. They don't want to give it to him. And quite frankly, as a conservative myself, I do see Talarico as a threat. I think he is a big threat in the race for Senate against Ken Paxton. I'm assuming Ken Paxton will win, and I think he's a threat to him.
Well, I think the name recognition and the media just absolute praise, just tongue bath that Jasmine Crockett gets counts for a lot in a race like this.
It does, but here's the fact of the matter. Especially Hispanic Democrats are not going to vote for Jasmine Crockett for many reasons that probably can't be discussed on this radio show. They're not going to vote for her. They like Talarico, and the Hispanic base, especially the Democrat Hispanic base, probably appreciates the fact that he speaks this Spanish, right? I don't even speak Spanish, and I'm brown.
Wait, Talarico's Spanish?
Talarico speaks Spanish. I don't know if he's Spanish. I think he's just a generic white guy.
Yeah, he looks like
Spanish.
He's like maybe Italian or something. But anyway, all right. Man, I'm impressed you think he's a threat.
I do. I think he's a threat, and the polling shows that. It's not just me. The polling numbers show that. In matchups where you have Cornyn versus Talarico, Cornyn destroys Talarico. In matchups with Ken Paxton versus Talarico, Talarico and Paxton are within margin of error. And that's concerning for me. And I think that should be concerning for Texans.
Other thing that's going on today, there's a big meeting in Frisco at the city council. I imagine H-1Bs and the concerning number of foreign nationals will come up. You think anything's going to come of this? Are you going to this?
I won't be making it tonight to the Frisco meeting, but I did get word that there's going to be a lot of heat there. There's a whistleblower, T-Mobile whistleblower, that has transitioned from talking about T-Mobile and his whistleblowing antics to now talking about the H-1B issue.
Yeah, Mark Palaciano.
And there is a city councilman on the Frisco City Council who is alleged to have been involved in some H-1B companies and get a lot of donations from H-1B company owners. And this has been a hot topic for Frisco residents. And frankly, it should be. People should be concerned that all these H-1B companies are popped up, especially in Frisco. I'm just 10 minutes southwest of Frisco. And Frisco, and I've lived here since 2004, okay? Frisco has evolved into Little India, quite frankly. And it's changed. And people have noticed, especially people that have been here for decades. And it's uncomfortable.
All right. What you got going on at Current Revolt these days, Tony Ortiz?
Well, we just got back from Flower Mound. Flower Mound, the high school students there had scheduled an ice walkout. And this has made major news to the point where the school was forced to issue a statement. And I went on site. I went to the high school. Interestingly enough, I talked to a Black and Hispanic student, two female students. One was Black and one was Hispanic. And they made the joke that it's not a serious thing and that anybody attempting to walk out was just wanting a reason to skip school. And then on the way out, I saw a gaggle of white children, white students, that was almost exclusively white, and they were protesting, and they were standing on the street corner, and they were saying that they didn't like what ICE was doing and all this good stuff. So we'll have an interview with some of those students coming out tomorrow.
All right, I look forward to that. Good stuff. You can find his website, currentrevolt.com. This is the great Tony Ortiz back on The James Show. I'm sure we'll talk to you soon, sir.
Thanks for having me.
This is the lady that started the fuss, because this is all hearsay. There's not even audio or text or anything of Talarico saying this. It's just some lady in Houston was like, well, I know this guy. He said...
James Talarico told me that he signed up to run against a mediocre black man, not a formidable and intelligent black woman. And I want to...
Yada, yada, yada. All right, now here is his response. And I edited it down because it's about 3 minutes. I got it down to 2.
Morning, everybody. It's cold out here, and I got some steam coming off my head because I'm, just finished my workout. Got some steam coming out of my ears, too. I understand that James Talarico had the temerity and the audacity to say to a black woman that he had signed up to run against a mediocre black man, meaning me, not a formidable, intelligent black woman, meaning Jasmine Crockett. Let me just break this down into a few segments here. First of all, let me just give you some free advice, James. If you want to compliment black women, just do it. Just do it. Don't do it while also tearing down a black man, okay? We've seen that play before. We're sick and tired of it. We're tired of folks using praise for black women to mask criticism for black men. That's not good for our community. It's not good. It doesn't work, and we know what you're doing, okay? So if next time you want to praise a black woman, just do that. Leave black men out of it. Just leave a lot of things out of it. Second of all, did you ever have a coach or somebody, a leader in your life tell you that when you make an accusation, you often have a bit of confession in it? Maybe you use the word mediocre because there's something creeping into your mind about yourself. Because I know you're not talking about somebody who's been better at 3 things than you've ever been at 1. You are not saving religion for the Democratic Party or the left. We already had Senator Reverend Dr. Raphael Warnock for that. We don't need you. You're not saying anything unique. You're just saying it looking like you do. So with that being said, go vote for Jasmine Crockett. This man should not be our nominee for the United States Senate. I wasn't going to get involved in this race, but listen, don't come for me unless I send for you. Okay, James?
Ooh.
And keep my name out of your mouth while you're at it.
Ooh. Look out, y'all. We got a badass over here. All right, so let me be a little bit more magnanimous than you probably expect. I think Colin Allred is an exceptional man. Overall, mediocre in what context is really the issue here, but Colin Allred's done something that most boys dream about but wouldn't even get close to accomplishing. The man played in the NFL, and he played in there for like 4 years. He wasn't just on a practice squad for a couple of months and then got cut. You know how hard that is? But he seemed to be he did well in grades too. I think he was his class president when he was playing at Baylor. He was like an all-academic, all-American or something like that. I brushed up on his biography before the show today just to kind of remind myself of who this guy was. And he's not a troublemaker. He went to Hillcrest High School. He's our neighbor. He hasn't been in trouble with the law. So he does seem like kind of an exceptional guy. Just because, look, a lot of people think, well, look, just because you make it to the NFL doesn't mean you're exceptional. Well, look, even people that are just born with the genetic gifts of being gigantic and fast and skilled and good at sports, you still have to put in the work. You still have to have the discipline to wake up and go to the weight room and lift those damn heavy weights and keep making the weights go up and work harder and harder and harder. You have to have the discipline to do that, and most people do not. Even most of the people who are born with the genetic capabilities of developing that talent do not have the discipline to pull it off. So anybody that made it to the NFL is exceptional in that way. Now, does that mean he's the best person to run for Senate? No. No, you got to have something a little more intellectual there. Well, look at the intellectual side of Colin Allred. After Baylor, he went to the NFL. After the NFL, he went back to school and got his law degree at UC Berkeley. Again, you and I aren't big fans of the politics of UC Berkeley, but this is what exceptional people do. This isn't what mediocre people do. So even in the academic realm, you got to say he's exceptional. But let me be magnanimous in the other direction. Is there some way in which something Talarico just said is not only not offensive, but has a ring of truth to it? Well, in the context of politics, and especially this race here, you could describe Colin Allred as mediocre and kind of get away with it without it just being some sort of ad hominem attack, without it being a pejorative. Because Colin Allred has had his chances to be in the media. He's done interviews. Does he get called back as often as Jasmine Crockett does? How often has he been on Meet the Press? Now, Jasmine Crockett got on Meet the Press, and she did so damn good, they keep calling her back. She's been on MSNBC, they keep calling her back. She's been on The View, they keep calling her back. Talarico's been on The View. Has he done anything exceptional with the limited airtime he's gotten? No. In fact, here he is. This is Talarico on The View. Sonny Hostin's giving him a hard time about missing 800 votes in the Texas State House.
I want to ask you about your record as a state legislator, because they have reviewed your legislative history and you've missed over 800 votes during your time in the state house. Why did you miss the votes, and why should voters allow you to represent their interests statewide when some are saying you did not represent your district?
And this is a Republican talking point because correct. I broke quorum twice with my Democratic colleagues to protest this redistricting power correct. Grab, to protest their voter suppression. And so I wasn't on the floor to take these votes because I was trying to stop them from passing these voter suppression efforts. Mm-hmm. And so they try to then take a look at all the votes that I missed, when in reality I was doing my job.
Dude, the 2 times y'all skipped town, they didn't take 800 votes. I mean, what did they take, like maybe 10 or so? And so you did it twice, so that's 20 of the 800. What about the other 780? You had a dentist appointment? I mean, that was a complete dodge. So that's why he doesn't get asked back. If anything, Talarico's mediocre as well, which doesn't really have much bearing on whether or not Colin Allred is mediocre. I can understand both sides of this argument. I hate to be like a fence straddler here, but Talarico's kind of right. Colin Allred, when it comes to being a Senate candidate, was mediocre. There's a reason why he got replaced by Jasmine Crockett. There's a reason why when Jasmine Crockett did some polling that she was beating Colin Allred so damn bad that the powers that be went and swapped him out. When it comes to being a candidate for Senate, when it comes to energizing voters, when it comes to winning in the polls, his performance up to this point has been mediocre. And that's not a race thing. That's not even an insult. So, yeah, keep my name out your mouth, James. That's funny because my name's James, and that kind of makes me feel like he's talking to me. But the problem Talarico has in a scenario like this is there was a black woman that called him out. There's a black man that responded. He's running against a black woman in Jasmine Crockett. And no one's going to come to his defense. Why? Because Bill Burr taught us that there's no such thing as white unity. So how's it feel, Democrat, to have the race card played on you and no one has your back?
That's what sucks about being white in that situation. There's no unity. There's no brothers when it comes to white people. We are just complete individuals. We don't care about each other. It's not my brother. My brother lives in Ohio. I don't know that guy. I'm not concerned about over here. I'm concerned about from here to right here. Here.
The James Show Podcast.